I let Suli in the meeting
Oh,
too.
okay.
But Suli, it looks like we do have a quorum. I don't know if if you want to stick around, it's up to you. I know you have other things. Um,
Don't we all?
yeah.
I'll stick around for a little bit. Yeah.
All right. Let me get started here and get this meeting underway here. The time is now 6:20. Oh, so do we have to take a roll call vote on this, Joe?
Yes.
For you to be chair, yeah.
Yeah, can I motion to make myself the chair?
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Angela Ward Hyatt. Angela, are you in
Yes.
favor? Okay.
Yes.
Andrew Shelburne,
Yes.
Ernest Costin,
Yep. Here.
and Suli Gajeri.
Yes, here.
Great. Thank you. All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let me get started here. The time is now 6:20 p.m. I'm calling to order the Highland Park Architectural Conservation District Commission, April 23rd, 2026 public hearing. Commissioners present are myself, Commissioner Shelburne, Commissioner uh, Ernest Costin, Commissioner Angela Ward Hyatt, and Commissioner Suleiman Gajera. Uh, Today, the commission will be holding a public hearing to review applications in accordance with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Order suspending certain privileges of the open meeting law, including the March 28, 2025 amendment extending the suspension of these provisions until June 30th, 2027. We are conducting this meeting online. To ensure public access to the deliberations of the Highland Park Architectural Conservation District Commission, the public may access this call through telephone and video conferencing. This hearing is being recorded. All further conversations between commissioners should be audible to the public in attendance until the hearing has adjourned. Are there any media or elected officials currently present? If so, please state your name, title, and affiliation. Okay, I'm hearing none. Members of the public will have an opportunity to ask questions and provide public comment on the applications and discussions. To do so, please raise your hand in the application via the Zoom meeting platform. If you are calling in and cannot use the platform, you can press *9 to raise your hand, or you can send your questions to staff via highlandacdc@boston.gov. Public comment will be limited to 2 minutes per person. So typically we have the presentation, commissioners ask questions, and then we open it up for public comment, just so everyone is aware. Okay, tonight's agenda. It's April 23rd, 2026, ratification of the March 26th, 2026 public hearing minutes. Design review is for 67 Lambert Ave, a retroactive approval of alterations to an existing granite post and wall in front of the property and construction of a 2-story rear addition with roof deck. Then we'll do updates on draft district bylaws, staff updates, and then we'll adjourn. Ratification of the public hearing minutes. Has everyone had a chance to read these and find them acceptable?
Yep. I think they look good.
Okay. Motion to approve the meeting minutes.
So moved.
Ernest, we need you to chime in.
Second. That's a second. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do the roll call. Angela Ward Hyatt,
Yes.
Andrew Shelburne,
Yes.
Ernest Costin,
Yes.
and Suli Gajeri.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. So, Andrew, next we have 67 Lambert Avenue. And this is a continuation from last month.
Yeah, yeah, so this is the presentation 67 Lambert Avenue. I would just ask the presenters to try to limit the presentation to about 10 minutes or so, and with the idea that we will open it up for questions, and you'll have more time to answer questions. And yeah, and if you could focus on kind of the updates to the drawings, and any updates, I don't think we need to go over the entire presentation again, in every single detail. I think we had sufficient time to do that at the last hearing, but that would be my recommendation. Thank you.
Sure.
You're here. If you could give your full names, please.
Sure. My name is Cam Raufi, and with me is
I'm Mia Desimone.
we are the owner and resident at the 67 Lambert.
Great. And would you like to share your own screen, or do you want me to run through your presentation?
I believe I'm sharing my screen.
Oh,
If
no,
is it
here,
visible?
let me stop and you can start sharing. And Andrew, would you like me to read my comments?
Yes, I think they haven't changed, but yes, please read them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little update from last month. Staff notes that alterations to the stone wall and granite post at the street were completed without the prior review and approval of the HPACDC, and without a building permit in 2025. In addition, construction of the rear addition commenced without the prior review and approval of the Highland Park Architectural Conservation District Commission or a building permit in 2025. An at-risk building permit was issued by Inspectional Services Department to make the unapproved addition weather-tight in December of 2025. At the March 26, 2026 hearing, the Commission voted to continue its review of this application and requested a refresh of their drawings that show the correct position of the proposed fence, more information on materials, including siding of the addition, and proper notes regarding the proposed skylights and roof changes. Following the hearing, a commissioner also requested documentation of the safety issues of the driveway, including turning radius insufficiencies. And I'll just go to my recommendation. Staff recommendation remains unchanged since the March 26, 2026 hearing. Staff recommends approval with provisos, finding that the addition does not destroy the overall shape of the building or the various aspects of its site and environment that form the spatial relationships that characterize the property. However, the granite post and stone wall must be restored back to their original design and appearance, and that no fencing or gates are attached to the stone wall or post. In addition, no existing trees shall be removed, and any trees that have been removed must be replaced with native species trees. I'll turn it over to you, Cam.
Recording in progress.
Hi everyone. Following the last meeting, we made a number of changes to the drawing. I summarized these changes in an email to Joe. But one of the changes that we made, we moved the one of the skylight windows to the top, more like flat section of the roof, which is less visible from the street. And we added the notes that this is an existing window, and these are and all the windows on the roof would be this window would be replaced with a new one, more efficient window. And you see the location of these windows on this side, and also details about the other window on the other side. And we also added the note on the roofing details that we are planning to change the roofing to copper tiles. And this is just a quick overview of what we covered last time, so I'm not gonna spend time on this. And this is just to refresh your memory about the conditions of the roof. There are some copper elements on the roof itself, but the slates needs to be, restored or changed. And on the right side, you see the type of coppers that we are planning to use. This is over on top of the wall on the extension side, and this would be the copper and that we plan to use propose to use on the roof itself. And looking around the neighborhood, these are some of the examples of residential buildings with the green metallic roof that I wanted to share. And I think the most iconic, which inspired us to use the copper, is the monument itself. But this is another roof that we can see from our house, and this is the residential buildings that are on top of the Fort Hill. Another change that we made was to correct the drawing. This is the correct drawing that I've included this time. As it is shown, the fence is behind the green hedges, and we are proposing to reinstall the portion of the wall that is cut at the other side of the granite post, and in order to enhance the look of and conserve the feel and look of the neighborhood, we are planning to restore the red bricks that we believe at some point they were present at this area. And as on top, basically you see the existing basically look of the fence area, and on the right, this would basically show, minus the red bricks, this would basically show how the fence would look like once the work is complete. And here you would see the driveway in red bricks, and how it would look like with the fence installed on this side and the vegetations over the wall. Another, I think, discussion that we had last time was regarding safe access to the property, and one of the reasons that we decided to move the granite post by about 3 feet to the left is shown here. I think there are a few of the neighbors, and I think that have kindly been patient with us living on the street, noticed the problem. Michael is here. He lives across from us and experienced the issue firsthand, that when we were trying to access the property from the street, we had to go back and forth multiple times. As you see here, this is, where you see the existing granite post at the original location, and that would give us an opening of about 11 feet. When we are trying to turn into the property, we would come very close, almost like 1 inch. And if there was any car park here that would kind of park toward the middle of the street, then it was really almost like really hard, and we would have to spend 5 minutes going back and forth to get into the property. And it was even more challenging at nighttime. And this also shows you that when we had a truck coming in or a large vehicle coming in, we had to actually block the other side of the street and in advance, and to allow the access to the property. So what we are basically, the proposed plan is to leave the granite post as it is currently moved to where it is, and that would give us about 1 foot on each side, a safe distance to the granite post. And we would also, the property would also be accessible with the larger vehicles, vehicles larger than, small sedans. And the other alternative that we looked at was the keeping the post as is where it is located, but then that would require us to put contact city to do a no parking on the parking lane, which is not ideal. And and this is kind of show you how the remaining red bricks looks like. This is part of the driveway is basically the red bricks from the old times, and the other part is paved. We also see remnants in certain areas where the asphalt is removed. we see remnants of the old bricks. So we are hoping to, once we restore that, we would further enhance the property and the historic nature of it. So, and I have also discussed our plans with some of our neighbors, and some of them are here, and one of them at 31 Door Street. This property, the owner of this property couldn't make it to the tonight's meeting and send a support email, but I have Michael at 88 Lambert Street living directly from us, and also Russell living at 85 Cedar Street, which is adjacent and as highlighted here. We might have another neighbor living here at 3 Door Street that might be present tonight. So anyway, I'll stop here. I see my 10 minutes up.
Thank you, Cam. Is Ernest still? Ernest is still with us here. I just he's texting me, Joe, and saying he can't unmute something or he can't turn on his.
I think I just made him a co-host.
Okay. Okay. I would like to open it up for commissioners to ask any questions.
I just have one question. The next door neighbor, the house is facing Door Street. Is that property abutted against your property there?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, and you've spoken with them recently?
Yes.
And they're supporting?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I have a question. Joe, did staff write their comments before or after the that turning radius study was done?
After, because it looked to me as though there was still an option with eliminating the parking spot across the street.
Yeah. Okay.
And I also have our architect on call if and they can add additional details to the analysis.
So, I mean, we can't really get into safety, I guess, but safety is not part of our jurisdiction. But with us, does the turning radius prove that with a small car you can make the turn if cars are parked across
with a 1 inch clearance?
In the ideal situation where the cars park across the street are not intruding to the middle of the street, because if that car is not parked all the way to the right side of the street, then it would reduce the radius of curvature. So it's really, if a truck is parked there, then we would not have any access. Let's put it this way.
I see. Okay.
Following the our last hearing, I looked on Google Street View, and the granite post prior to it being moved is very visible. It's easy to see it, and I'm just confused because it looked like it was in perfect condition, especially considering it's over 100 years old, 150 years old or so, and it's just it's I think it's worth noting that it had basically people had managed to get in and out of that driveway for over a century without damaging the post.
Yeah, I will note, thank you for that comment. I will note that when we first moved in, there was a sign on the telephone pole directly opposing our property that said no parking, 67 Lambert. So I think there were maybe the prior residents of our house had attempted to, stop parking opposing our property. So that to me pointed out that they had also experienced issues accessing the property. They didn't, receive formal approval for, a no parking sign. It was just a hand-drawn sign, but that was there when we first moved in.
And have you pursued having a no parking with the traffic department or whoever you need to go to get those things approved?
No, no, we haven't pursued that. I just felt like, given that there are 6 rental units right next to us, and the school operating during the day, and a lot of parents are using it. It's not. It didn't seem like
A viable
desired
alternative, yeah.
for the neighborhood.
Hmm.
And Michael is here. I think he's been
Yes, we
living
will.
across from us. Can speak more to that.
Yeah, we'll open it up to public comment here in just a minute, Cam. I do appreciate everyone's patience here. Um, I just wanted to ask other commissioners their thoughts about the trim, the architectural detailing and trim of the addition. Um, my proposal would be to, have Cam, you know, redo the trim or any trim that he's touching on the historic part of the building to have that basically kind of restored almost in kind, um, to the original trim. And then the trim on the addition would be something slightly different. So something that would complement the historic part of the building, but not replicate it. I just wanted to hear other commissioners' thoughts on that.
Well, I don't have a problem with him replicating it on the addition. I mean, I know that doesn't go exactly with the Secretary of the Interior guidelines, but I think in this case, since the addition is largely replacing an addition that was already there, I think I'm fine with it. I think it will look handsome, done with that level of attention. And I think I was under the impression that the trim that you are adding to the main original house, although it is in a different material, you are intending to more or less replicate those window hoods that had rotted away.
Yes.
Yes,
I do have a question about the copper roof though. Is that just the top portion or is it also the sides of the roof?
top and the side.
Top and the sides.
One problem that we have is that there are a couple of very large walnut trees that are on 2 sides of the house. And every year in the fall, we have a lot of walnuts coming down. So it just one of the reasons that we decided to, I guess, move to that direction is basically is the walnuts falling down. And these are, some of them are a couple of inches. They're larger than a golf ball and they're as heavy.
Yeah, and
falling
unfortunately,
down.
we aren't able to maintain or restore the existing slate tiles, although that would have been our preferred approach. But because of I think that they've been there for decades, and then because they've sustained significant damage, as Cam was mentioning, they're not in a position, and the roof is leaking. So it is something that work that has to occur. And we chose a more durable material and one that's consistent with other roof within the neighborhood.
Joe, did staff have comment on the roof material? Remind me.
It's somewhat outside of our purview, and I'll just read what the design guidelines say. Maintenance and repairs, including in-kind replacement or repair, the district commission can serve in an advisory capacity for maintenance and repairs, including changes in design, material, color, ground surface, or outward appearance, but shall not dictate such choices.
Okay.
So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
I think the study report does encourage the use of no, not think. The study report does encourage the use of high quality materials. There's a whole section on that. But it doesn't strictly outlaw things like vinyl siding, for instance. And that would be page 85. There's a whole section on architectural materiality and detailing. Ernest, you have your hand up. Go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you. So, I know the house really well. I know that neighborhood, and there's been a lot of changes. My friend graduated from high school in 1962. Lived there. He was my chess buddy, and his family gave the house up. And another friend of mine wound up buying it, and he was a construction worker. He worked on that house, but no one's ever had a problem with the driveway. The problem has been sometimes too many cars in the yard. And your next door neighbor, Michael, I don't know if he has a truck that he would park across the street from you, but is that still a one-way street?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was just curious why there was such a problem with that granite bollard, and you need to move it. That's number one. And yeah. So what will be the impact of moving that other than it's no longer historical? What would be the impact of moving that?
Could you rephrase, do you mean moving? Again, could you repeat the question?
Yeah, the impact of moving the granite bollard that seems to be a problem for you guys to get in and out of your driveway.
Well, they've already moved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I guess we're asking you to put it back where it was. Is that my understanding?
I think that's
We haven't,
we are discussing that. Yes.
We
yeah,
haven't
we
yet.
haven't asked anything yet, but staff
Yeah.
comments would support that. Yeah.
All right, so that's what happens when you come into the meeting late without reading the staff comments, right? So that was one, and the other part was the roof. So my understanding is that you want to put on copper both on the top and on the side, and give up the idea of using slate because the walnuts are falling down the
Part
size
of
of
it.
golf balls.
I think a part of it is that the top part of the roof is asphalt shingles. So we definitely want to upgrade that side and
Right,
put a copper which is longer lasting. And then I think then we started thinking about looking at the options. We got the cost estimate for the slate, and that was just the size. It was about $50,000, which is beyond our budget, to be quite honest. And then thinking about the walnuts falling down, and that would become a recurring expense. It just
right,
became not really ideal. And
right.
to be consistent with the top part, our plan, we thought that we could use the copper on both the side and the top.
All right, so you're saying that the copper is actually cheaper, less expensive than the slate? Is that what it
Yes.
is? Really? Okay. Yeah, because I had to do the same thing to my house. I had slate, fish scale slate, and I had to like change that up. But there's a material that looks exactly like slate from the street, and it performs a lot better, and it's not as expensive as slate. So that might be a consideration. I'll bring you over a sample. Or I'll leave it in the yard for you.
Thank you.
So yeah, so those were my two questions. And you have walnuts the size of golf balls, huh? Jeez, that's good to know.
And very happy squirrels.
I'll stop by with a bushel basket or something.
Sure. Come back in the fall. There are plenty.
Yeah, sounds like it might be. All right, so those were my two points of confusion was the roofing materials and the moving of the bollard. Um, and you've already moved it. And you cut into the wall. Okay, I got it.
We are using the same section of the wall that we've cut from the front and reoriented where the driveway is kind of the gate is basically is moved 3 feet inside the property, and we are in the right by that middle post. We are gonna reuse the basically the portion of the wall that we removed. We are gonna place it on the other side along the driveway. So if you're walking by, you're gonna see that section of the old wall, just reoriented
And I'm sorry, how much did you take out again?
about 3 feet.
Wow, okay, that's a lot. You know, from my way of thinking.
Right. It was there is a gas pipe that is running. We thought about moving it by less, but the gas pipeline is running right in that area, so we couldn't put the post on the post is moved right next to that gas line.
Yeah. Did you speak with DigSafe at all?
We had it was at the time that National Grid was working in the area, and they had just excavated it and replaced that section. So
So I don't know. So National Grid took the wall down for you?
no, they told me where the pipe was.
So you never did check with DigSafe then?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Angela Ward, sorry, Ernest, are you finished? I don't
Oh
want to
yeah, I
cut
could
you
be
off.
done. Yeah, I could be done. No problem.
Okay, go ahead, Angela Ward Hyatt.
I just, whoever's sharing their screen, can you kind of zoom in on the fence at the upper, the axonometric on the top half of the drawing? I just want to, yeah. Now, so this drawing is a little confusing. Are you really proposing that the fence would go all the way to the front face of the stone wall past the fence that's behind the hedges? It feels like it would be a better resolution if the post of the fence going kind of parallel with the street, if that met at a 90-degree angle and you have like a paper thin edge of it's weird to have a section of fence jutting out like that on each side of the property.
So
Okay.
you mean this section?
You can't.
You see
Yeah,
our illustration?
yes, that side and particularly yes, on the lower side of the drawing.
Yeah, we can avoid doing that. We could stop the fence right along this line and put the
Sure.
Yeah. I think we were matching the fence to what the current fence line is, and it extends all the way to the where it meets the edge or the front of the wall.
Okay.
Suleiman, go ahead, please.
Yeah, sorry. So, are you proposing on the left side, are you proposing putting a full height fence behind the existing stone wall? Is that how?
The same height.
Is
Yes,
that?
you mean here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, when it won't be visible from the street, we plan to have hedges that cover that kind of grow above the stone wall so that they'll be obscuring that section of the fence.
Okay.
you kind of there is I guess
Kind of
rendering
mock-
picture mock-up showing how it would look like. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay, and sorry, I missed it. Is the post that was there that was moved, is that like damaged? You're not planning to reuse that existing?
The post is it looks actually undamaged. It's just been moved. It's broken from the below the ground.
Ooh.
So,
It's been essentially repositioned, but it appears identical,
Gotcha.
to what you
to
see.
what it was.
Yes.
Okay. And the turning radius that you're proposing, you don't need to do to widen the curb cut. You're keeping the curb cut that's existing.
Since the curb is cut is only 1 or 2 inches above the street at this point, I think we've been driving over it with no problem, and it's not that high of I guess, a jump. But I guess if at some point the city decides to redo the streets, I think at that point we would ask to move the curb and widen it. But right now, we can work with that. That's not a problem.
So like the turning radius B on the left, that's the maneuvering, that's the proposed maneuvering in blue for turning in.
That's if you look at that, that basically shows you the red square, shows you where the post used to be, and that is moved to the left right now. So what you see here is the way we currently get in and get out of the property.
Right.
The blue line shows the traffic.
But I think depending on the outcome of this review and your recommendation, I think it would be our preference to move the curb cut to align it with the current position of the post so that they're kind of aligned with each other in a logical way. But currently the curb cut is narrower than the post.
Yeah, and like it looks like you would be, I mean, the blue passenger vehicle route shows it like it's going over, you're driving over the
Right.
curb.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's how the access is into this property.
I think the curb wasn't installed at the right location, even with the original post location. It should have been positioned further out. But yeah, it's.
Okay.
The good news is that you can move that curb cut at a later date, and that doesn't involve us at all. But it does involve a permit. So just heads up. I think if commissioners are finished with questions, I think we can open it up to public comment. Unless anyone stops me. Public comment. Members of the public will now have an opportunity to ask questions and provide public comment on applications and discussions. To do so, please raise your hand in the application via the Zoom meeting platform. If you are calling in and cannot use the platform, you can press *9 to raise your hand, or you can send your questions to staff via email at Highland ACDC@boston.gov. Public comment will be limited to 2 minutes per person.
Great. And Andrew, I do want to just state we did receive written comment from Kyle Martin from 31 Door Street, which I did share with the commissioners, and that was in support of the project as submitted.
Great, thank you. Yes, I read that.
So should we start with Michael Winston?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, Michael should be able to start your comment. You have 2 minutes.
Excellent. Thank you all. Thank you, commissioners. I am at 88 Lambert Avenue, directly across the street from this address. The Cam came to me, very much with his tail between his legs, expressing, regret for having not followed the process more formally. He was entirely unaware. It wasn't like he was trying to subvert a process. And so I do believe him in that. So in terms of what's being proposed, first and foremost, I'm so excited that I have a neighbor that is heavily investing in that home. It is one of several that is in much need of repair that's sort of within eye shot of my home. And so Really excited to see that that's happening. I'm supportive of the copper roof, even though that's not in the purview of the commission. I really like the elegant fence that is replacing a very dilapidated chain link fence. So I'm very much in favor of the fence he's proposing. And I guess I'll just zero in on this sort of debate around the parking, about the driveway. And that I knew the tenants that were there for many, many years before they purchased this property. They had very small cars. It was like a Honda Fit, if I remember correctly. It was like, and a Toyota something. And so they probably didn't have as much issue, partly because of just the small cars. In my property, I also have a driveway off of a one-way street on Logan with very narrow entrance. And so I experience having to back up and back in. And it is, it's a tough spot. It's a tough condition to have, to either have to request that a spot be removed to be able to safely enter and exit a driveway, or adjust the driveway. And I'm actually started the process with BTD to make adjustments to my house. So I'm familiar with this decision point. And I can tell you that those parking spaces on Lambert Ave that would have to be given up for them to be able to safely enter the driveway are very meaningful to the tenants that live on Lambert Avenue across from me and adjacent to Cam's. So I just want to—
Michael, you're at your 2 minutes, so
Okay.
if you can wrap it up, please.
Okay, so then in summary, I am very hesitant to go against staff recommendations because I have found that staff consistently is very mindful of historic conditions. In this instance, I do recommend, I like the adjustment of the fence line to sort of be distinct from the historic. So like keep it 3 feet behind and just allow the hedges and the original stone wall to be there. But leave it where it is presently so that there is safer entry and exit. And so there's less blocking of Lambert Ave on entry. Thank you.
Okay. Joan Seamster, would you like to make your comments? Joan, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, I'm on a phone, so it's just a little bit challenging. So hi, I sat through the last meeting, and I think my comments have to do with how almost every guideline for housing, for permitting, has been completely ignored by this particular in this particular case. There's been 3 instances tonight where permitting that should have taken place has not taken place. So there just seems to be an overall pattern of ignoring what Boston permitting requires. And as a new member of Boston, typically you go to the city and find out what those issues are before you start making modifications to your property. And it's so disrespectful to our community to come in and say, we didn't know. I have people that work at Bechtel in my family. You cannot use we didn't know. I'm sorry. So that's rear view mirror stuff. So based on that, the fact that abutters are for or against it is not really relevant to this ACD. We do not take abutters' comments unless they come and they talk about ACD issues. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody on this call understood that. If you have a traffic problem, and we all have traffic problems, I live on a 2-way street that is only wide enough for 1 way. We all have traffic problems in Highland Park because it's tiny. You go to the city and you ask, how can we resolve it? You don't take those resolutions into your own hands the way that you all seem to have done. So the last time I said, if the ACD is allowed to be overridden by we didn't know, then where are the teeth and what is the value of people like Andrew and the other commissioners working diligently every month against the guidelines when somebody comes in and says we didn't know and can just do a complete workaround for all the ACD guidelines. So I think I want to hold all people that are making modifications to homes in Island Park to be respectful of the ACD. So whatever the ACD decides is the correct approach to
Oh, I'm sorry,
asking.
Joan, can you wrap it up? You're over
Yes,
your 2
I'm
minutes.
just
Thank
saying, I
you.
don't know what the ACD, Joe, and we're just going through the bylaws, so that may be one of the issues of how do you put more teeth into the ACD so that people have to follow versus it's not just a recommendation, it is our guidelines. And so maybe whatever the ACD decides is the right way to come out so that everybody is respected would be what I would recommend. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And we have a phone number here ending in 0031. I'll ask you to unmute, and if you can give us your full name, please. Yes, hello.
Hi, this is David. Hi, this is David Black. I'm also on my phone, so
Sure.
but I would like to make a comment about this. And I mean this with no disrespect to the proponent or to Michael, but I've been a traffic engineer for 45 years, and the remedy for a inconvenience on a driveway is not to take down granite posts and put in stone walls. It is to talk to the parking department and see if they would be willing to adjust the parking on the other side. I think if you could convince them that it was a safety issue, I'm sure they would be very happy to do it. But I suspect they will also determine that this is just an inconvenience issue. Our roads in the neighborhood are just not designed like highways or freeways. And we have to put up with tight corners and restricted space. And I knew the Naps who lived there before, and they seemed to manage quite well. So I'm sorry, I reject the safety argument. But regardless of that, the remedy here is to talk to the traffic department and not to knock down a wall and move a post. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And Holly Shepherd.
Thank you. I also live in the neighborhood, and I also tonight I'm representing the Roxbury Neighborhood Council, which reviews all of the projects in Roxbury as a overseeing group of to support neighbors. And I just, as part of the committee's recommendations, were that the Landmarks Commission staff obviously have seen these situations before and know that if you make excuses for one property, the rules of the commission start to fall apart. And so I think we echo what other neighbors have said, that really to the inconvenience. I also live in with a driveway with 2 granite posts, and I have to make a three stop turn to turn myself onto the street, and it's just part of the living in a neighborhood, as David says. And I don't think that we can make exceptions to the rules that have been established for this ACD because of somebody's feeling of just not wanting to take the time. And so I also am shocked that you didn't call dig safe, that no permits have been pulled for any part of your work. It is a disgrace to every developer and builder and neighbor in the neighborhood that you would make such plans without following the rules. And you can't say that you didn't know there were rules, because everywhere in America you have to pull permits, and your contractor should be fined or whatever for building without permits and demolishing. It is shocking. But thank you for allowing me to speak.
Hey. Andrew, I think that's all I see.
I believe Russell Brown, also one of our neighbors, would like to speak.
Okay, Russell, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, I would just like to judge for Cam's character. I live right behind him at 85 Cedar Street, and he seems to be a upstanding individual. I don't think he had any malicious intent in doing what he did. And I had a little minor issue with my fence that divides our houses. And he was a standout individual and rectified the situation, no problems at all. So I can just judge for his character. I don't think he was trying to be malicious with his intent in taking down the granite post. So yeah, I just want to support Cam.
Great, thank you.
All right. Well, that wraps up our public comment. I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who wrote and called in and unmuted and made a comment. We do listen to these comments very closely, and we do read every message that's sent to us that Joe forwards to us. I think we're ready to make a motion now. And I have been typing up a motion here as we went along, and I think I've got one. It has 6 different parts to it, but 6 different lines, but I think it kind of encompasses what the sentiment that I've heard tonight, and more importantly, aligns with the standards and criteria which we're to uphold. So here goes. I'd like to entertain a motion that staff review and ensure the following: that the historic buildings trim and architectural detailing closely matches the original trim and architectural detailing of the historic part of the building, that the new addition has trim and architectural detailing that complements the historic building, that the granite post and stone wall are carefully and skillfully restored to their precise original location, design, and appearance, and that no fencing or gates are attached to the stone wall or stone posts, that no existing trees shall be removed, and any trees that have been removed or are planned to be removed must be replaced with native species following the guidelines in the study report. That any tree work requires consultation of a certified arborist and must follow the recommendations of a certified arborist. That any changes to the direction of the motion or the presentation materials may result in the project being brought back to the commission as directed by staff. And I also want to throw in the point that Angela Lord Hyatt made about, squaring off the fences as they meet each other and not having them extend past. I don't know if we can, actually, I don't know if we have that jurisdiction, but I'll throw it in there anyways.
I might have missed it. Thanks for doing that, Andrew. I might have missed it, but did you repeat what you wrote about the post?
Yeah. Happy to repeat any part of this. I know it has a lot of parts to it. That's point number 3, that the granite post and stone wall are carefully and skillfully restored to their precise original location, design, and appearance, and that no fencing or gates are attached to the stone wall or stone posts.
Okay, thank you.
May I ask a clarifying question?
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to clarify that the existing fence does attach to the stone wall. So I just want to clarify your comment around if we're putting a new fence there, how is it not to touch the existing stone wall when that's the current setup?
If there's an existing, you're not leaving the existing fence though, right? You're removing the existing fence?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to reuse that, attachment point. I think that's an exception, but what we're trying to avoid here is you not drilling new holes into the granite post or the stone wall. That's basically it.
So I don't know if that can be clarified in your final
Yeah,
recommendation.
right. I mean, we could revise that, Joe, to say that, you know,
The
But
fence is attached to existing.
yeah, the
On
fence,
both sides, on left
yeah,
and right.
re-
The wall comes and touches the pillar on the right side as well.
yeah. You could reuse that they may reuse the existing
but
attachment points, but not create new attachment points. I think that's a good compromise.
but I'm confused because a new fence is going to require a new footing, and you're not going to use an existing chain link metal, um, pipe. So I think the point still stands. We're trying to not have new. I mean, this is a new fence, so I think it's a pretty easy interpretation. The guidelines said that new fences shall not attach to the stone walls. So I think if you were, in order to do what you're saying, you would have to take out the old footing, make a new hole directly adjacent or somehow, directly adjacent to the stone wall. So, which is not a condition that the guidelines want to encourage.
Maybe I misheard the word attach versus abutting or, adjacent to. I think what I meant is that they can be adjacent, but yeah, not attached.
Yes, yes, that's it. Yes,
Thank you.
certainly the fence can touch the stone wall or the stone post, but we're trying to not have you make a hard connection. Does that make sense? Where you
Yes.
drill a
Yeah.
bolt in and then you fasten it. Okay, so the original, we're going back to the original statement. Do you want me to read it again for everyone?
Please, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
Scratch the edit there, Joe. So the original number 3 is that the granite post and stone wall are carefully and skillfully restored to their precise original location, design, and appearance, and that no fencing or gates are physically attached to the stone wall or stone posts. Is that clear now? I just said physically attached. So you can abut them, but not attach them. I can read any part of this again if folks want, but I think this is a good motion. I would just want to say I think this is actually a big win for you, Cam, and your wife, Mia. I mean, largely, I think this commission has supported the bulk of the work that you're proposing to do, including the addition. So I would take this as a pretty large win.
So Andrew, are you making the motion or are you looking for
Yes,
someone?
I just made the motion, so I need, and I
I will
need some.
second that.
Okay.
All right, so I'll do the roll call, which is Angela Ward Hyatt,
Yes.
Andrew Shelburne,
Yes.
Ernest Costin. Is Ernest still here?
Yes.
Yep.
Ah, good. Okay. And Suli Gajari.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Okay. All right, great. So I'll be in touch with the applicant to follow up on the motion.
And
All right.
yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for forgiving us for not following the rules, and I take full responsibility for it. And
Thank you for all of your
yeah,
recommendations.
thanks for all the recommendation and feedback.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Save the
Cam.
walnuts.
Yeah, thanks. We'll look forward to
Yeah.
seeing you around the neighborhood and staying high in a different environment.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, Andrew, we're still we forwarded our comments, our staff comments to the law department. This is regarding the draft district bylaws. We're just waiting to schedule a meeting with our representative from the law department to review them. So
Okay.
we'll be, we're working on it.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we can have a meeting in May. I mean, I would really like to get these bylaws approved before new commissioners before we leave our posts. And folks are aware that the mayor has 4 candidates, to choose a replacement of 2 of us right now. So it would be good to finish it with this team, at least.
Yep. Get it done.
And then lastly, for staff updates, Commissioner Barrios Milner has resigned from the Boston Landmarks Commission and from the Highland Park Commission. She has taken on a new career position that she just doesn't have the bandwidth to continue.
Who's this again?
Wow.
Oh,
Selena
Oh.
Selena Barrios Milner.
Wow. Yeah, she just got a promotion, I gather.
is she also on the ZBA zoning board of appeals?
I believe she was appointed. Whether or not she's staying there, I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that's very sudden.
Yeah,
I
we
guess,
wish her the best.
how soon, Joe, can we have a replacement appointed for her?
We have so there is a replacement taking her spot on the Boston Landmarks Commission. So they're starting the appointment process through the mayor's office and city council. Whether or not, hopefully that person will also want to take her position on Highland Park, but we're not sure about that.
Yeah, it's a big commitment. Yeah, to do both. Yeah. So thank you, Angela Ward Hyatt, for doing both, for sitting through multiple meetings every month. We do appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we can wrap it up if everyone's ready.
Yeah, let's do it. A motion to adjourn.
Yeah, second that.
All right,
Okay.
thanks everyone.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Have a
All right,
wonderful
thanks. Sorry
evening.
about the tardiness.
No, glad you
God
can
bless.
make it.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.